Lonely Rancher thought she only came for water, but she begged him to teach her how to use her hands. The Lonely Rancher woke up before the sun, as he always did. The sky was still dark, and the stars were slowly fading. He sat on the edge of his wooden bed and listened to the quiet sounds of the land. The wind moved softly through the tall grass outside, and a distant bird called from somewhere near the river. This wide open place was his home, and it had been his only companion for many years. He stood up, washed his face with cold water from a metal bowl, and pulled on his old boots. The ranch was not large, but it was enough to keep him busy. There were a few horses, some cows, and a small field where he tried to grow crops. He liked the work because it gave his days a clear shape. Morning meant feeding the animals. Midday meant fixing what was broken. Evening meant sitting on the porch and watching the sky turn orange and red as the sun went down. The rancher did not talk much. There was no one around to talk to. The nearest town was far away, and he only went there when he needed supplies. Most of the time, he preferred the quiet. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, he felt the weight of being alone. He would sit by the window and look at the moon, wondering what it would be like to hear another person's voice in his home. That afternoon, the sun was high and hot. The rancher was repairing a fence that had fallen during the last storm. He hammered a wooden post into the ground and wiped the sweat from his face. Just as he stood up, he noticed something strange near the gate. At first, he thought it was an animal, maybe a stray horse or a deer. But then he saw a person standing there. It was a young woman. She looked tired and dusty, as if she had been walking for a long time. Her clothes were simple and worn, and her hair was tied back, but loose strands fell around her face. She held the gate lightly, as if she was not sure whether she was allowed to be there. The rancher felt surprised. Visitors were rare. He walked slowly toward her, keeping his voice calm. "Can I help you?" he asked. She looked up at him, her eyes full of worry and hope at the same time. "I just need some water," she said softly. "I've been walking for hours." The rancher nodded. He opened the gate and led her toward the house. He brought out a cup and filled it with cool water from a large jug. She drank slowly at first, then faster, as if her body was finally getting what it needed. When she finished, she took a deep breath and looked around. "This place is so quiet," she said. He gave a small smile. "That's how I like it." She stood there for a moment, not sure what to say next. The rancher noticed that her hands were trembling slightly. They were clean and smooth, not like the hands of someone used to hard work. He could tell she did not belong to a place like this.
"Are you heading somewhere?"
he asked. She shook her head. "I don't really know. I just left." He did not push her to explain. Da, da. Instead, he pointed to a chair on the porch. "You can sit and rest for a while if you want." She hesitated, then sat down slowly. The rancher leaned against the wooden post and watched the clouds move across the sky. After a few minutes of silence, she spoke again. "My name is Anna," she said. He nodded. "I'm Jack." The name felt strange in the air, like a new sound in a place that had been quiet for too long. Anna looked at the land around them. "How do you live out here all alone?" she asked. Jack thought about the question. "You get used to it. The land keeps you busy. And the animals don't mind if you're quiet." She smiled a little at that. After a moment, Anna looked down at her hands. "I don't know how to do much," she said. "I've always lived in places where everything was already done for me. Food, water, shelter. I never had to learn." Jack listened carefully. "And now?" "And now I don't have any of that," she replied. "I thought I could just walk until I found something, but I didn't realize how hard it would be." The wind picked up, and Jack could see the dust moving across the field. He looked at the sky. The sun was starting to go down. It would be dark in a few hours.
"You shouldn't be on the road at night," he said. "It's not safe."
Anna looked up quickly.
"I don't want to cause trouble." "You're not," he said.
"There's a small room inside." Her eyes widened.
"Are you sure?" Jack nodded. "Everyone needs a place to rest." They went inside the house. It was simple, with wooden walls and a small table in the center. Jack showed her the spare room. It had a bed, a blanket, and a small window that looked out onto the field. "Make yourself comfortable," he said. Later, Jack cooked a simple meal. They sat at the table and ate quietly at first. The sound of forks on plates filled the room. Then Anna began to talk about her past. She did not give many details, only that she had felt trapped in a life that did not feel like her own. She wanted to learn how to stand on her own, to be strong without depending on anyone else. Jack listened. He did not judge. He understood the feeling of wanting something different. After dinner, they went back outside. The sky was full of stars. Anna looked up in wonder. "I've never seen so many," she said. Jack sat down on the porch steps. "Out here, the sky is your ceiling." They sat in silence, watching the night settle over the land. For Jack, the quiet felt different now. It was not empty. There was another person sharing it with him. When it was time to sleep, Anna thanked him again. "I don't know how to repay you," she said. Jack shook his head. "Just rest. Tomorrow is another day." As he lay in his own bed, Jack stared at the ceiling. He thought about the young woman in the next room. He did not know how long she would stay or what she would choose to do, but he felt something he had not felt in a long time. A small sense of purpose, a reason to wake up and see what the day would bring. Outside, the wind moved through the grass, and the stars kept watch over the quiet ranch. The lonely place was not so lonely anymore, at least for this night. The morning light came through the small window in Anna's room. It touched the wooden floor and slowly climbed the wall. She opened her eyes and listened. The ranch was quiet, but it was a different kind of quiet than the places she had known before. This quiet felt alive. She could hear birds outside, the soft sound of wind, and somewhere far away, an animal moving through the grass. She sat up and looked around the simple room. The bed was small but warm. The blanket was thick and clean. For the first time in many days, she did not feel afraid of what would happen next. She stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she saw Jack moving near the barn. He was already working, carrying a bucket and talking softly to one of the horses. Anna took a deep breath and decided she did not want to stay inside. She wanted to learn. She wanted to understand this place and the life that Jack lived. She walked outside slowly. The cool morning air touched her face. Jack noticed her and gave a small wave. "Good morning," he said. "Good morning," she replied, her voice still soft from sleep. Jack handed her a cup of water. "Drink first." "It's going to be a warm day." She drank and nodded. "What are you doing?" "Feeding the animals," he said. "If you want, you can help." Anna looked at the bucket in his hand. It looked heavy. She reached for it, but when she lifted it, her arms shook. "It's heavier than it looks," Jack said with a small smile. She laughed a little, embarrassed. "I can tell." He showed her how to hold the bucket close to her body instead of far away. "That way it won't pull you down." She tried again, and this time it felt easier. They walked together toward the animals. Jack showed her how to pour the feed and how to move slowly so the animals would not feel nervous. At first, Anna moved too fast. A horse stepped back, and she froze. "Don't worry," Jack said gently. "Just take a breath. They can feel when you're calm." She took a deep breath and tried again. This time the horse stayed still. She felt a small sense of pride. After feeding the animals, Jack took her to the small field behind the house. The ground was dry and cracked in places. He handed her a small tool. "This is for turning the soil," he said. "We need to make it soft so things can grow." Anna looked at the ground. It seemed hard and stubborn, like it did not want to change. She pushed the tool into the soil, but it barely moved. Jack showed her how to press with her foot and use her weight. Slowly, the ground began to open. It was slow work, and soon her arms felt tired. She stopped and looked at her hands. They were a little dirty now. The skin felt different. She did not know why, but she liked it. Jack noticed her looking. "You're doing well," he said. "Everyone starts somewhere." They worked together for a while. The sun rose higher in the sky. Anna felt sweat on her forehead, but she did not mind. For the first time, she felt useful. Later, they sat under the shade of a tree to rest. Jack brought out some simple food. They ate quietly, watching the clouds move. "Why did you choose to live out here?" Anna asked. Jack thought for a moment. "I wanted a place where things made sense. You work, and you see what comes from it. You plant something, and it grows. You fix something, and it works again." Anna nodded. "I like that." After resting, Jack showed her how to carry water from the well. The bucket felt heavy again, but she remembered his advice. She moved slowly, step by step. Halfway to the house, she stumbled and almost dropped it. Jack reached out, steadying the bucket. "It's okay. Don't rush." She laughed, a real laugh this time. "I'm not very good at this." "You're better than you were this morning," he said. They continued through the day like this. Jack showed her how to clean tools, how to sweep the porch, and how to tie a simple knot for the fence. Every small task felt like a small victory to Anna. In the afternoon, a problem came up. One of the fence posts had fallen again. The animals could get out if it was not fixed. Jack and Anna walked over to it. The post was heavy and stuck in the ground. "We need to lift it together," Jack said. They both grabbed it. Anna felt her arms strain. For a moment, she thought she could not do it. Then she remembered why she was here. She wanted to learn. She wanted to be strong in her own way.
"Ready?" Jack asked. "Ready?" she said.
They lifted together. Slowly, the post came up. Jack held it in place while Anna packed soil around it with her foot. When it finally stood straight, they both stepped back. Anna smiled, her face bright. "We did it." Jack nodded. "We did." As the sun began to set, they walked back to the house. Anna felt tired, but it was a good kind of tired. Her hands were dirty and her arms were sore, but her heart felt light. That evening, Jack cooked again, and this time, Anna helped. He showed her how to cut vegetables and stir the pot. The smell of food filled the room.
"This is better when you make it with someone else," Jack said. Anna agreed.
"Everything feels better today." After dinner, they sat on the porch. The sky turned orange, then pink, then dark blue. Stars appeared one by one. Anna looked at her hands again. They were no longer clean and smooth like they had been the day before. There were small marks now, signs of the work she had done. "I didn't think I could do any of this," she said quietly. Jack looked at her. "You just needed someone to show you where to start." She nodded. Thank you for being patient with me. He smiled. Thank you for helping me remember what it's like to share this place. The night grew quiet again, but it was a warm quiet. Anna felt safe. She felt like she belonged, even if she did not know for how long. When she went to bed, she felt proud of the day she had lived. Her hands were tired, but they had done real work. Her mind was calm. For the first time, she did not feel like she was running away from something. She felt like she was walking toward something new. Outside, the wind moved softly through the grass. The ranch stood strong under the stars, holding the stories of two people who were slowly learning from each other, one simple day at a time. The third morning at the ranch began with a strange stillness in the air. The sky was gray, and the wind did not move like it usually did. Anna noticed it as soon as she stepped outside. The birds were quiet, and even the animals seemed restless. She felt a small knot of worry in her chest, though she did not know why. Jack was already awake, standing near the barn and looking toward the distant hills. His face was serious. "Feels like a storm is coming," he said when Anna walked up to him. She looked at the sky. Dark clouds were slowly gathering, heavy and thick.
"Is it dangerous?" she asked.
"It can be," Jack replied, "but we'll get ready." They did not waste time. Jack showed Anna how to move the tools into the shed and close the barn doors tightly. The wind started to pick up, pushing dust across the ground. The air felt cooler, and the smell of rain was strong. Anna tried to keep up with Jack's fast movements. Her hands moved quickly now, not like the first day when everything felt slow and unsure. She felt proud of how much she had learned, but she also felt nervous. The storm made her think of the past, of times when things had gone wrong and she had felt small and helpless. As they worked, a strong gust of wind shook one of the fence lines. A post leaned and then fell to the ground with a dull sound. Jack ran toward it. "That fence won't hold in this wind," he said. "If the animals get out during the storm, it'll be hard to find them." Anna followed him. The sky grew darker, and the first drops of rain began to fall. The fence post was heavy and stuck at an odd angle. "We need to fix this now," Jack said. Anna felt fear rise in her. The wind was loud, and the rain was coming down faster. Her clothes were already getting wet. For a moment she thought about stepping back, about letting Jack handle it alone. But then she remembered how far she had come, how much she had learned in just a few days. "I'll help," she said, her voice shaking but steady. They grabbed the post together. The mud made the ground slippery. Anna's boots slid, and she almost fell. Jack caught her arm and helped her stand. "Slow down," he said. "We've got time." But the storm did not feel like it was waiting. Thunder rolled in the distance. They lifted the post together. It was harder than before. The wind pushed against them, and the rain stung Anna's face. Her arms burned, and her hands felt numb. "I can't," she said, her voice small. Jack looked at her. "You can. Just breathe. Don't fight the storm. Work with it." She closed her eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. She planted her feet firmly in the mud. When she opened her eyes, she focused only on the post, not the wind, not the rain, not the thunder. "Ready," she said. They lifted again. This time the post rose. Jack held it steady while Anna pushed mud and soil around the base with her hands and feet. Her hands were covered in dirt, but she did not care. She kept working until the post stood firm. When they finally stepped back, the fence line was straight again. Anna laughed. even as the rain poured down.
We did it, Jack smiled, rain running down his face.
We did. They ran back to the house as the storm grew stronger. Inside, the sound of rain on the roof was loud and steady. The wind howled outside, but the walls held strong. Anna stood by the window and watched the world turn gray. She felt safe inside, but her heart was still beating fast. Jack poured 2 cups of warm tea and handed one to her. "Storms don't last forever," he said. She nodded. "I used to think they did." They sat at the table and talked while the storm passed. Anna shared more about her past, about how she had always moved from place to place, never staying long enough to feel like she belonged. She talked about how she had felt weak, like she could not do anything on her own. Jack listened quietly. "Being strong doesn't mean doing everything alone," he said. "Sometimes it means knowing when to ask for help." The storm slowly faded. The rain became lighter and the thunder moved away. When it finally stopped, the world outside looked fresh and clean. The ground was wet and the air smelled new. They went outside to check on the ranch. The animals were safe in the barn. The fence still stood. Anna felt a deep sense of relief. She realized that the storm had not just been about the weather. It had been about her fear, her doubt, and her choice to face them instead of running away. Later that day, Jack asked her to help him with something new. He led her to a small, old storage shed at the edge of the land. "This place has been falling apart for years," he said. "I never had the energy to fix it alone." Anna looked at the shed. The wood was worn, and the door hung crooked. It looked like it might fall over at any moment. "We can fix it," she said, surprising herself with how sure she sounded. They spent the afternoon cleaning the inside, removing old boxes and broken tools. The work was slow, but it felt good. Jack showed her how to use a hammer properly, how to hold a nail steady. At first, Anna missed the nail and hit her finger lightly. She jumped back, holding her hand. "Are you okay?" Jack asked quickly. She laughed through the small sting. "I think so. Everyone does that at least once," he said. By the end of the day, the shed looked different. It was not perfect, but it was stronger. The door closed properly. The walls felt solid. Anna stepped back and looked at what they had done. "I never thought I could build something," she said. Jack looked at her. "You've been building since the day you walked through that gate." As the sun went down, they sat on the porch again. The sky was clear now, painted with soft colors. Anna felt tired, but in a deep, peaceful way. She thought about the storm, about how she had almost given up. She realized that her hands were not just learning how to work, they were learning how to hold on, how to face things instead of running away. "My cousin, my aunt, my Auntie Cannon. Jack," she said quietly, "do you think I can really make a life like this?" He looked at her for a long moment. "I think you already are." The stars came out, one by one, just like the first night she had spent at the ranch. But this time, everything felt different. The ranch no longer felt like a place she had found by accident. It felt like a place she had chosen. As Anna went to bed that night, her body ached, and her hands were rough with work. But her heart felt steady. She knew there would be more storms, more hard days, and more moments when she would doubt herself. But she also knew something else now. She was not the same person who had walked through the gate asking only for water. She was someone who could stand in the rain, lift heavy things, and help build something real. Outside, the ranch rested under the quiet sky, holding the promise of another day, another chance to grow stronger, one simple step at a time. The next morning felt different. The air was cool and fresh, and the land looked clean after the storm. Small drops of water still rested on the grass and leaves, shining softly in the early light. Anna stepped outside and took a deep breath. The smell of wet earth filled her lungs, and it made her feel calm. Jack was near the fence, checking the posts they had fixed the day before. He looked up when he saw her and gave a small nod. "Looks like the storm did more good than harm," he said. Anna walked over and touched one of the fence posts. It felt strong and steady. "It's still standing," she said with a smile. They spent the morning walking the land, making sure everything was in order. The animals moved calmly, and the barn doors stayed firm. Anna noticed how much more confident she felt now. She did not wait for Jack to tell her what to do. When she saw a bucket left out, she picked it up and carried it back to the shed. When she saw a loose rope, she tied it neatly. Jack noticed. He did not say anything, but his eyes showed pride. Later they worked in the small field again. The soil was softer after the rain. Anna pushed the tool into the ground, and it went in easily this time. She laughed. "It's like the earth is helping us now," she said. Jack smiled. Sometimes you just have to give things time. As they worked, Anna told Jack about a dream she had the night before. In the dream, she was standing in the middle of the ranch, and everything around her was growing. The field was green, the fence was strong, and the sky was bright. She said it felt like a sign that she was in the right place. Jack listened quietly. "Dreams have a way of showing us what we already feel," he said. In the afternoon, a stranger appeared on the road near the ranch. It was a man on a horse, wearing a dusty coat and a wide hat. Anna felt her heart jump. She was not used to seeing new people here. Jack walked to the gate and spoke with the man. They talked for a few minutes. Anna stayed back, watching. When Jack returned, he said, "He's from the nearby town. He wanted to know if I had any extra supplies to sell." Anna felt a small wave of relief. The man tipped his hat and rode away. "That made me nervous," Anna admitted. Jack nodded. "Out here, you learn to pay attention. But most people mean no harm." The moment passed, but it stayed in Anna's mind. She realized that the ranch was becoming something she wanted to protect, not just a place she was passing through. That evening, Jack showed Anna something special. He led her to a small hill at the edge of the land. "I come here when I need to think," he said. They climbed to the top. From there, they could see the whole ranch, the fields, the barn, the house, and the long road that led away into the distance. Anna felt a strange feeling in her chest. It was a mix of peace and worry. "This place means a lot to you," she said. Jack nodded. "It's the only home I've ever really had." They sat on the grass and watched the sun go down. The sky turned gold, then red, then soft purple. The world felt quiet and wide. Anna thought about her life before the ranch. It felt far away now, like a story she had once heard but no longer lived. She thought about how much she had changed in just a few days. "Jack," she said, "do you ever think about leaving?"
He thought for a long time before answering.
"Sometimes, but I always come back to the same thought. This land gave me a place when I didn't have one anywhere else." Anna looked at the road in the distance. She knew that road could take her anywhere. The thought made her both excited and afraid. That night, they cooked together again. Anna moved around the kitchen with ease now. She cut vegetables, stirred the pot, and set the table. It felt natural. "This feels like a home," she said quietly. Jack looked at her. "It does." After dinner, they sat on the porch. The stars were bright. A cool breeze moved through the air. Anna wrapped her arms around herself. "I never thought I would feel like I belonged somewhere," she said. Jack did not speak right away. "Belonging is something you build," he finally said. "Just like a fence or a shed. It takes time and work." Anna nodded. She understood that now. The next day, something small but important happened. Anna took the lead on a task for the first time. She noticed a section of the barn door that was starting to come loose. Instead of calling Jack, she got the tools and started fixing it herself. Jack watched from a distance. He did not step in. When she finished, the door was strong again. "You didn't need me," he said with a smile. Anna wiped her hands on her clothes. "I still like having you around," she said. They laughed. Later, Anna found an old box in the shed they had cleaned. Inside were a few small items from Jack's past, a worn photograph, a small notebook, and an old piece of cloth. Jack picked up the photograph. "That's my family," he said. "A long time ago." Anna looked at the faces in the picture. She could see the younger version of Jack, smiling.
"They would be proud of you," she said. Jack looked away for a moment.
"Maybe," he said softly. That night, Anna lay in bed and thought about everything she had seen and done. She thought about the stranger on the road, the hill with the wide view, the way Jack had trusted her to fix the door on her own. She realized something important. This place was no longer just teaching her how to work. It was teaching her who she could be. She did not know what the future held. She did not know if she would stay forever, or if the road would call her again one day. But for now, she felt steady. She felt like her feet were planted firmly on the ground, just like the fence posts they had fixed together. Outside, the night was calm. The ranch rested under the stars, holding the quiet promise of tomorrow. The last morning at the ranch began with a soft light that filled the sky with pale colors. Anna woke up before Jack this time. She lay in bed for a moment, listening to the quiet sounds of the land. The wind moved gently through the grass, and a bird sang somewhere near the barn. It felt peaceful, but her heart felt heavy. She knew this day would be different. She got up and walked to the window. The road in the distance caught her eye. It stretched far, disappearing into the hills. She had looked at that road many times, but today it felt closer, like it was calling her name. Anna dressed slowly and went outside. Jack was already on the porch, holding a cup of water and looking at the sky.
"You're up early," he said. "So are you," she replied with a small smile.
They stood there for a moment, watching the land wake up. The air was cool and fresh. "I was thinking about the road," Anna said. Jack did not look at her, but he nodded. "I figured you might be." They walked together to the small hill again, the one where they could see the whole ranch. The view felt familiar now, like a picture she could close her eyes and still see. "I didn't come here planning to stay," Anna said. "I only wanted water. I only wanted to rest for a little while." Jack smiled gently. "Life has a way of giving us more than we ask for." Anna took a deep breath. "This place changed me. You changed me." Jack finally looked at her. "You did most of that yourself." They sat on the grass, and Anna told him about the thoughts she had been having at night. She talked about how she felt stronger now, not just in her hands, but in her heart. She said she felt like she could face the world instead of running from it. "I don't know where I'm going yet," she said, "but I know I can go." Jack listened quietly. When she finished, he said, "That's all anyone really needs to know." They went back to the house, and for the first time, Anna noticed how much it felt like her own. She helped Jack prepare breakfast. They moved around each other easily, like they had been doing it for years. After they ate, Jack handed Anna a small bag. "I put some food and water in here," he said, "just in case." Anna took the bag, surprised. You were ready for this before I even said anything. Jack nodded. I knew this day would come. You're not someone who stays in one place just because it's safe. Anna felt tears rise in her eyes, but she blinked them away. Thank you. They spent the morning doing small tasks together, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. They cleaned the porch, checked the fence, and walked through the field one last time. Anna stopped by the shed they had fixed during the storm. She touched the door and smiled. I can't believe we did this. Jack stood beside her. You can build more than you think. Later, Anna packed her few things. She did not have much. A spare shirt, a small cloth, and a few simple items Jack had given her. The bag felt light in her hands, but her heart felt full. They stood at the gate, the same place where Anna had first asked for water. It felt like a lifetime ago. I don't know how to say goodbye, Anna said. Jack leaned against the gate. You don't have to say it like it's the end. Think of it as the start of something else. Anna nodded. I'll come back someday. Jack smiled. I'll be here. She took a step onto the road, then stopped. She turned back and walked up to him. Without thinking too much, she gave him a gentle hug. It was simple and warm. Thank you for teaching me, she said. Not just how to work, but how to believe in myself. Jack's voice was quiet. Thank you for reminding me that I don't have to be alone. Anna stepped back, took a deep breath, and turned toward the road. She walked slowly at first, then a little faster. After a few steps, she looked back. Jack was still standing at the gate watching her go. She lifted her hand and waved. He waved back. As Anna walked, the land around her felt wide and open. The road was long, but it did not feel scary anymore. It felt full of possibilities. She thought about the first day she had arrived, tired and unsure, asking only for water. She thought about the storm, the fence, the shed, the hill, and the stars. All of it had shaped her in small, quiet ways. With every step, she felt more confident. Her hands were no longer just hands. They were tools that could build, help, and create. Her heart was no longer just a place for fear. It was a place for hope. Hours later, Anna reached a small town. People moved around, talking and working. She felt nervous, but she also felt ready. She found a small place that needed help and offered her time. The owner looked at her hands, saw the marks of work, and nodded. That night, Anna sat outside the small room she had been given. She looked up at the sky. The stars were fewer here, but she could still see them. She thought of Jack and the quiet ranch. She knew that no matter where she went, a part of her would always belong to that place. Back at the ranch, Jack sat on the porch, watching the same sky. The land felt quiet again, but it did not feel empty. He knew Anna was out there somewhere, building her own life. He stood up and walked to the fence. He touched the post they had fixed together. It felt strong. Take care, he said softly, not knowing if she could hear him. The wind moved through the grass, carrying his words into the open land. Far down the road, Anna felt a breeze on her face and smiled, as if she had heard something kind and familiar. The story did not end there. It continued in every step Anna took, and in every morning Jack woke up to the wide open sky. Both of them were no longer lonely. They had learned that even a short meeting could change a life. They had learned that strength could grow in quiet places, and that sometimes all it took was a simple act of kindness, like offering water to someone who needed it, to begin a journey that would last forever.